What's going on, y'all? Today we are back with another video. In today's video, since we are at the halfway point of the season, I want to talk about and discuss, how each team been playing so far this season and some of the concerns I have and be some pieces that these teams have. So let's get right to it, man. First off, we are starting with the Eastern Conference and let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, man. 24-12, best record in the East, man. And so far, I've been loving the way they've been playing. Doc been having this team play. And B has been so far halfway point in the season, the MVP. He's playing at such a high level, man. Ben Simmons been very good, especially over this last month. Been, in my opinion, I would say he's the defensive player of the year, but he's been incredible on the defensive end. Then we got the other players such as Tobias Harris who've been stepping up. It seemed like he been at his best when he playing with Doc Rivers. Steph Curry, Shake Milton been very good. So overall, the makeup of the team has been very good. Now, the one area of concern I have so far about this team is, against the teams over 500 or better, I think they have a 500 record against teams over 500 or better. So they gotta improve on that. So they gotta beat the better teams. But they have been taking care of business against the lesser teams. As you can say. So overall, I would give this team an A minus based off how they've been playing so far. This A minus, yeah, A minus. Give them A minus. But the one area where I can see they can address that at the trade deadline, they can get themselves another score. So I know they might be in play for a bigger trade, at the trade deadline, such as Kyle Lowry. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do at the trade deadline, and that's where I think they need to improve at. Get themselves another score at the guard position. Next up, let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets. This team, in my opinion, through the first half of the season, has been the best team in the East, man. Like I've been so impressed with this team, and James Harden, man, this man had done it once again. I had my doubts about James Harden when he first at the beginning of the season before the Brooklyn trade, and I wanted to see how he worked with KD and Kyrie. So far, it's been beautiful. I My prediction was I think this team would have ran best if they had James Harden at the point guard, and they doing just that. James Harden has been the point guard. He letting KD and Kyrie, this score has been a lot easier for them to score, and this team has been running on all cylinders on the offensive end. The big concerns I have about this team is, on the defensive end. If they can stay at the middle of the pack defensively, and with the offense they have, man, this team gonna be very very scary, and they've been demonstrating that over the last 10 games, as they've been 9-1 over the last 10 games, and I believe they won 8 in a row at some point. So I will get them. Also, I'll get this team an A on the first half of the season. With the injury they have, KD being out for a bit, Kyrie missing 7-8 games, and then James Harden, man, I believe he put himself in the MVP discussion, man, with the way he's playing. He's picking his spots. He's choosing when to score the ball. He's facilitating at such a great level. It's very beautiful to watch right now. Now, where I would like to see them add, some missing pieces, is they need to add another perimeter defender, and they need to add a big man, because I think they need DeAndre Jordan. In my opinion, is a very good backup big, but I don't think he should be a starting big for Brooklyn right now. They can add like a drum in somebody. That would be ideal for them. Next up, let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. See, this team, in my opinion, they've been up and down. So they've been having a roller coaster ride this season so far. So they 22-14. The crazy thing about them is I seen them win 4 or 5 games in a row, and then they also lost 4 or 5 games in a row. So they've been, like I said, been up and down season for them so far. Based off of my expectations of this team, man, I'll give this team a solid B, to B minus, because they've been so up and down so far this season. I know a lot of people saying 22-14, they're not winning as much. They haven't been winning as much as they did in the last couple of seasons. But at this point, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm not really concerned. Regular season record, they need to get prepared. They need prepared better for the postseason. So I think they more focused on how they can be successful in the postseason. And they also, a lot had to do with Drew Holiday being out due to health and safety protocols for about 10 to 12 games he missed. So that's been a big factor with them. So I do think Drew Holiday would be a big addition to them. He would help them a lot in the playoffs, but I still think they need another. They need another star guard to pair up. To pair up with Giannis. I've been on this. I've been on this train for the last couple of seasons, but I think Chris Middleton is the perfect number three option. I don't think he'd be a number two option to win championship with them. I'm not. There's no slight to Chris Middleton, but I think they have like someone like a Bradley Beal type, number two option who could be number one option down the stretch in the playoffs. Would be perfect next to Giannis and Chris Middleton. Now let's number four. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics, man. Up until they 4 game winning streak, before the break, man, this was my most disappointed team in the East, in my opinion. I know Marcus Smart been out for a few weeks now, and I didn't realize he was this big of he meant this much to Boston. He's been a huge loss for them. So I expect them to be a lot better once Marcus Smart get back after the All Star break. And then also a lot of their struggles had to do with everything being on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like they had such a heavy burden on them. Do everything for them each and every night, and they need more help, honestly. And Kemba Walker, these last 4 games, Kemba Walker been back to Kemba Walker. But besides that, Kemba Walker been having a very down year. I know he had injury, come back from injury, trying to get back in shape, trying to get back in rhythm, due to that knee injury. But he's been down. And that's been a lot of reasons that Boston been struggling so much this season. So if you want me, my grade I will give him right now, I'll give him a C minus right now. And a lot of the reason for that is because they won the last 4 games, so they started to look like the old Boston team. Now, what do I think they need to add? The biggest area they need to add at is they need to add, to me, in my opinion, I still think they need a pure point guard to make things easier, for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Because if you watch a lot of Boston games, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown really, sometimes they make the game more difficult than it needs to be. And they need that point guard who slow things down, who settle things down, run the offense, and make the job easier for them too. And then they need a 5, man. I thought Danny Ainge fumbled the bag when they denied and they didn't accept that deal to get Miles Turner and Doug McDermott for Gordon Hayward. I would have did that instantly, in my opinion. Number 5 seed, man, the New York Knicks, man. Now this is very surprising to me, man. The Knicks has been probably the biggest surprise team to me in the East, at least. 19-18, man. I had doubts about Tails being a New York Knicks coach, if I'm gonna be honest, but he's been doing such an incredible job at New York. Also, I didn't see Julius Randle being an All Star this year, which is well deserved, man. He's been carrying that team this year, and then, like I said, Tails got this team a top 5 to 10 defensive team in the league, man. So he got these boys playing defense, man. I like the progression. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel quickly has been a very good rookie, man. He being slept on. I didn't think he would have been this bigger impact this early in his career, but he's been playing great ball, man. And then I always like Mr. Robinson, man. I think he's a very underrated big, man, and I think he's going to be very good on the Tails, man. And I'd like to see his progression in the next few years. So this is surprisingly, once again, I think a very interesting free agency destination, over the next 12 months. So based off the expectations I have for this team this year, I would give this team a good A, man, based off their first half performance, man. And the things I think they need to add, man, they just need to add star talent. New York is a free agency destination. They just need to add star talent. So whichever stars, interested to come in New York, I think they just need to add a star, man. Let's talk about next up, number 6 seed, Miami Heat. They 18-18. They have so far they've been down. A lot of it due to Jimmy Butler being out, due to the health and safety protocols. Like I said, Jimmy Butler missed a handful of games. Gordon Dragic, Bam, Tyler Hero. The key guys that missed a whole bunch of games, and they are at the 6 seed, which I think they will eventually move up in that top 5 seed. But over the last week or two, they've been healthy, man. I think they won. Yeah, they won 7 out of their last 10 games. So Miami look like the Miami we seen from last year right now. So they're going under the radar, but the 18 for a reason because they had such a slow start, and I expect them to, like I said, they pick up the pace in the second half. So I do expect them to be that top 5 seed, when it comes playoff time. So overall, I give them a I give him a C plus B minus based off them having a lot of injuries, and they finally, when they were finally healthy, they were looking like the old Miami. Next up, the Charlotte Hornets, man, at the 7th seed. Okay, so Charlotte is where I actually thought they'd be. Around the 500 range. They 17 and 18. One thing I didn't expect is LaMelo Ball to be this good this early, man. This man is looking like he is a future star in the league, man. And he's, as of right now, got Rookie of the Year hands down. Gordon Hayward has proved me wrong. He's been looking like he's been having an all-star caliber season. I know he wasn't an all-star, but he's had a very good, very underrated season. And then Terry Rozier, man, has been very good this season. I don't know, a lot of people have been paying attention to Terry Rozier, man. He's been having a very underrated season. Him and LaMelo in that backcourt is looking like a very, very underrated backcourt, especially in the East. So this team has been one of the more. This has been one of the more fun teams to watch, and hopefully they can be just they continue to be as fun in the second half, man, and they can be in this playoff race at the end of the season. So the overall grade I give them right now, I give them a solid B minus, man. And what do they need to add in the second half of the season? I think they need to add a big man, man. They need a solid big man. I seen reports saying that Drummond would be going there. I'm not really a fan of Drummond going to Charlotte, but one underrated move I could see going to Nikola Vucevic, man. You add Nikola Vucevic to that five, and Charlotte, this team would be, it'd be even more fun team to watch in the East, man. So we see what happens to him in the second half. Now, final 8th spot as of right now. All right, and next up we have number 8 seed Toronto Raptors. I know at the beginning of the season they started off very, very slow. Looking like at first they looking like a lottery team, but I knew that they was gonna get back in the playoff race, and I was expecting them to be a top 8 seed. As of right now, they 17 and 19, 2 games on the 500. But this last week and a half that they have pretty much half the team out due to the that word I can't use on YouTube. But everybody know there's the virus. But I will say that a lot of their early season struggles were due to like Pascal not looking like his all-star self last year. He was struggling mightily to start the season. But towards the last month or so, he's been picking it back up. It's crazy, like some of the things that people say to players, but yeah, he's looking like last year Pascal. At least before this team got hit with that with the virus, in the All Star break. But overall, man, they've been a little bit disappointing, but I expect them to pick it back up in the second half of the season. So my mid-season grade for them right now is a C minus. I expect them to be better at this point. I didn't think they'd be a contending team, but I didn't expect them to start off the season that slow. But like I said, I expect them to stay in the top 8 seed. Expect them to make the playoffs, at least make the play-in game. And it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Kyle Lowry at the trade deadline, because I've been seeing a lot of rumors that they're gonna trade Kyle Lowry to a contender team like either Philly, Miami, or potentially the Clippers. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Now let's talk about the things I think that they need to add. The piece that they need to add. I think they need to add a bucket getter. Specifically at that wing position. Obviously, they had Kawhi, and Kawhi would be a perfect player for them. But they need a player like that, a young star or a star. So yeah, so a young star wing, and then they need to add a 5-man. Like I think a lot of it's also almost forgot to include that in some of their struggles. The loss of Ibaka and Marcus All, you can see it definitely impacted this team. So they need a 5. And Aaron Baines haven't had the season that I know they thought he would have there, but they need a 5-man. Even though Chris Broussard, my bad. Chris Broussard have a very underrated season. They need a 5-man there. So next up, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls, my hometown, man. The Bulls is exactly where I thought they'd be. It's good to see that they actually have a coach there now. So they've been playing much better than the last couple of seasons, and a lot of that has to go with Zach LaVine. Obviously Zach LaVine is the All-Star, man. He's just continuing to get better, man. He's surprising me how much better and how much he's improving year by year, man. It's like his injury never happened. So it's good to see him playing at such a high level, man. And then Kobe White has been up and down. Like what I'm seeing for the rookie Patrick Williams. Wendell Carter's been cool up and down season. And then Larry Marketing before he got hurt, man, he was having a solid season. Definitely having a bounce back season. Also, I love what I'm seeing from the vets. You know, for Thaddeus Young, Garrett Temple. But let's talk about the issues, the struggles they've been having, and the pieces I would like for them to add. Man, it's clear that they need a pure point guard. They need a point guard. I think Kobe White is best served as a combo two guard. Zach LaVine, you know, best when he's scoring. They need a point guard who really dictates the tempo flow of the game, who really runs the offense and make things easier for Zach LaVine and Kobe White. Um, I would like for them. I know this was in rumors, trade rumors, but I think Lonzo Ball would be a good fit with them. Somebody like that. Or I was saying this at draft at the draft. I was hoping if they would have had another top 15 pick in the draft, I would love for them to get Tyrese Halliburton. I think he would fit perfectly with this Bulls team. So I think the biggest need is they really just they need a pure point guard. And then I would like for them to add a better big man, because Wendell's up and down. So it was up and down. Then Marketing, you know, he's also up and down. But I have been liking the way he's been playing so far this season. So all right, let's talk about number 10 seed, the Indiana Pacers, man. So as of right now, they be the 10 seed in the playing game, which is wow, surprising. You know what? I thought they for sure be a top 8 seed. I thought they'd be like a 7, 8 seed, but you know what? The more I think about it, though, I'm not really surprised at the placement they at right now. So okay, Demontis Sabonis has been the best player on this team. Obviously he was an All Star snub before he was a replacement, but he should have been declared All Star. He's been playing very well. Miles Turner been a havoc at the rim, you know, at the rim defensively. It still at times look like it's an awkward fit between the two, you know, him and Sabonis. And then it hurt them a lot with TJ Warren being out, you know, pretty much the whole. I think he's been out, yeah, just about the entire season. So that definitely hurt them. And then Caris LeVert, man, once he come back, he would definitely help them a lot in that guard position. Malcolm Brogdon has been doing everything pretty much at the guard position. So once Caris LeVert get back, I'm gonna really give my full assessment of this team, see how the team really looks with a healthy TJ Warren, a healthy Caris LeVert, Malcolm Brogdon, and then Sabonis and Miles Turner, man. This team definitely gonna be a team to watch in the second half. But overall, my first half grade for this team, I would say a C to C minus, because this team hasn't been the best they can possibly be. So I expect them to be better in the second half once they get fully healthy. And the biggest addition they need to make to their roster, see, they in a weird spot, because I'm like, they a very solid team, but I don't know how much better this team can get. So they're in a weird position, but they can actually, you know, they need star power. So I would say the biggest addition is they can add a star there, but I don't know who that star, you know, could possibly be. So now let's talk about Atlanta Hawks. They will be right outside of the playing game, and they've been, to me, a very disappointing team. I actually had them as between a 6-7 seed at the beginning of the year. They could still possibly get a 6-7 seed because they're only 2 games behind the 6 seed. So that's how close, you know, the East is. Pretty much everybody in the East besides Detroit has a chance to get in playing the playing game. But Atlanta been very disappointing to me. You know, even though they've been having a lot of injuries. You know, Cam Reddish been out, Rondo, they first round pick, Okongwu, Bogan, Gallo. So they have a lot of their players out. But Trae Young had a slow start to the season, and then he picked it back up, and then he had another bad slump of games. So he's been having up and down seasons, but he's been playing a lot better, the last few weeks. But still, when I watch this team, I just can't help to be disappointed by the way they playing. Like, this team is very talented. Granted, like I said, they've been hurt for pretty much the entire season, but they should still be better than 16-20, man. And I'm not going to talk about the coach situation. I'm going to have a video out for that, man. The fact that they pin on the coach is not right, man. Like, at the end of the day, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, you got to play better. So I put this on players more so than on coach peers. So let's talk about so overall, my grade, I'll get the team. When we be on I get the team a C minus to a D plus as the first half grades. Now what I see they can add, man, they spend a lot of money this offseason on win now vets, and that hasn't panned out right now. So I still think they need if they want to trade their young talent for a star player, I think that's the right they should go. The way they're looking like if they're in a win now situation, to please Trae Young, I think they're gonna trade for a star and see if they can trade for a star to pair him up with Trae Young. So I think that's what they need to add. They're gonna go that route. But let's talk about the Washington Wizards, man. They've been playing a lot better the last 10 games because they started off the season very badly, like worst team in the league badly. A lot of that has to do with Westbrook not being healthy. He wasn't himself. Like I said that I had a video about that earlier. You could tell he was playing through an injury, but he's been much better this last month. So, and that shows because they 7-3 their last 10 games. Westbrook been playing a lot better, and then Bradley Beal has been carrying the team throughout. So overall, the Wizards, I thought they'd be around that playing game. They are around that playing game. They a game and a half out of the 10 seed, so they right there. Overall, I would give this team also a C to C minus. I know there's some people saying that they was a playoff team. I didn't think they was a clear playoff team, but they've been what I expected, so I give them a C, C minus. And what I think they should add, man, they need to add defenders around. They need defense because they one of the worst defensive teams in the league, so they need to add perimeter defense. They need to add rim protection. They just need to add defense overall. So that's the biggest area of concern they need to address, the second half of the season. All right, let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. The team had a pretty solid start to the season. The backcourt of Darius Garland and Colin Sexton was very good, and then I love the addition to Jared Allen. Like I thought that was a very, very good pickup for Cleveland. That James Harden trade to me might have been besides James Harden himself, it was still the trade right there, and he's definitely the center of the future. So overall, I get the team a C plus to a B minus. Like this team been better than I expected. I still expected this team to be worse than 14-22. I thought they'd be like with Detroit, like as the worst team in the East, and they've been right there in the playing game. So they this rebuild is going along better than I expected. So now where I think they need to add areas I think they need to address that. They need to address they also need to address defense, man, because they one of the worst defensive teams as well. I would trade, I know Kevin Love's on trade block, and hopefully they can get Drummond. They need to trade Drummond and Kevin Love for some type of solid wing defender, 3D wing. So that'd be ideal for Cleveland. Let's get to the last two teams in the East. Orlando Magic. I have just made a video about Nikola Vucevic. This team has been carried by Nikola Vucevic. As expected, they lost 5 in a row, so they've been sliding down, over the last few weeks. But Nikola Vucevic has been helping at least keep this team somewhat afloat, with all the injuries they had to Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony. I know Terrence Ross missed a handful of games. They've been dealing with injuries, man. I don't expect anything out of this Orlando team, but they've been competing. They've definitely been competing, and I can't give them too much slack for the season because they all their boys is out. So my midseason grade for this team, I'll give them a C. You know, can't go any lower, can't go any higher because this team been playing the best they can play with the players they have. And the area they need to address, man. See, they also stuck in the mediocrity territory. So they need to just add more talent. Like a very solid defensive team. I can say they can add more guard scoring. They need another. They need guard scoring, so they need more guards over there in Orlando. So that's definitely an area I would address if I'm Orlando. Now let's talk about the last team in the East, and that is the Detroit Pistons. Man, you know what? I'm not even surprised where they at right now. I had predicted this is where they be. They are in rebuild situation. I didn't anticipate their point guard being out after the first couple of games. So that's been kind of disappointing. I know he's disappointed in that, and they disappointed in that. But one player who's been very good this season is Jeremy Grant. A lot of people had question marks about that, by him going to Detroit. But he's been proven that he's a very good player. He's continuing to get better, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jeremy Grant. And as everybody see, Blake Griffin's got bought out. I think it might have been reported that the Brooklyn Nets are the leading candidate team to get Blake Griffin. So if anybody can tell me in the comments below, like, is it a done deal or he just leading? Because if it's a done deal, then I'm not gonna give my I'm gonna say it anyway. I think he'd look good with Phoenix. I think Phoenix would be a good spot for him, and I think Miami would be a very good spot for him. So those are two other teams. If you don't go to Brooklyn, I think those are two other teams that will look good for Blake Griffin. But overall, this team is in rebuild. They're one of the worst teams in the league. They will be in the lottery next year. They will definitely get another high lottery pick, so I'll be looking forward to that. But I'll get the team a average grade as well. I didn't expect more of this team. This is what I expect them to be at. So, and then the area where I think they need improvement, they just need to add more talent to get the best player available. So that's all I gotta say about Detroit. This video is a lot. Okay. So guys, I'ma cut off right here. I'm gonna have a video on the Western Conference tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. I'm ending the video right here, man. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys feel, how you guys feel about each and every one of these teams in the Eastern Conference. How you think these teams been playing? Who you think been the best team in the East? Who you think been the most surprising team in the East? Who you think been the most disappointing team in the East? Let me know, man. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is definitely my longest video I've made so far. And like I said, I got the video on the Western Conference mid-season grades tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. Peace out.